Okay, so let's see. I think it's time to start. And the way that I want to start today is in Virasana. Now, anyone with knee issues that can't be in Virasana, take Sukhasana, Esther. Um, and so I'm going to move my two blankets out to the side. I'm going to keep this one down on the bottom of my yoga mat. And then I'm going to place a second blanket on top. And that's just for the two sits bones. And I'll come kneeling in front of that blanket with the knees together and give this strong internal rotation. You want to bring the top of your feet and your shin bones down, and then move your bottom down to your blanket. And again, your sits bones just come to the very edge of your yoga blanket. And I'll turn to the side, guys, so that you can see that a little more clearly. If you need more height than just the blanket, you can use a yoga block to come seated on top of. But either way, you want your sitting bones to be covered along your prop, right? The inner parts of the legs together, the inner knees are together, and then look at the outer edges of the feet. Also, this outer edge of the shin bone. And then I had an Iyengar teacher once in Varasana that says you should be able to make an indention in the outer calf or the outer shin. And you guys can't see that because I've got pants on, but if you're to kind of press down and move your shin bones up and move your femur bones down, you get that little indention in the outer part of your lower leg. And then move over one side to the other. Take the hand, upper hamstring, lower buttock, rotate out, draw back. Make sure that your 10 toes go straight behind you. Take your hands, the soles of the palms of your hands to the soles of your feet. So the fingers turn down towards your toes. You'll press into the soles of your feet. Keep your shin bones, your femur bones down and your shin bones moving up. Lift your side rib cage and bring the very tops of your shoulders down. But use your hands along the soles of your feet to do that. Again, fingers face down towards your toes. Press into the soles of the feet. Bend your elbows, lift your chest. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Next exhalation, close your eyes and begin to center yourselves here using your breath. And this is an audible inhalation, audible exhalation. The inhale and the exhale should be even with one another. The chin remains parallel to the mat and the breastbone spreads, the collarbone spreads, and the abdominal wall moves back towards the spine. Make sure to stretch down through your sacrum and your tailbone as you lift your side ribs away from your waist. I'll chant Om, join in here, or you're welcome to just listen. Exhale your breath. Bow your head by bringing your chin to the groove of your neck. Bring your hands down to the very tops of your legs. Center your head as you exhale your breath. You can very slowly open your eyes and release your hands. Very good, guys. And I'm going to bring one block behind me. I'm going to stay in Virasana. Bring one block behind my back. Lift the chest. Twist to the right. Right arm goes behind your back. Your right elbow remains bent. Left hand goes right outside of your right leg. Press, lift your side ribs and twist. And then as you exhale, turn the gaze back towards the top of your mat and release. Lift the side rib cage. Press down through the tops of your feet. Twist to the left. So your left elbow stays bent. The very top of your left shoulder moves down away from your ears. Twist to the left. With your next exhalation, turn your gaze back to the center. Perfect. And then release. Excelente. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and move that block that I used in front of me behind me, right in front of me. And I'm going to walk the arms out and bring the forehead against the block. So Adho Mukha Virasana. Adho Mukha Virasana. So walk the arms out as far out in front as you can. Bring your forehead down. Bring your chin to the groove of your neck. See if you can keep your inner thighs and your inner knees together. And then you guys can inhale and bring your gaze out towards the top of your mat. Lift your chest. And then exhale, very slowly release. Good. Come back seated. You can move your blocks out of your way, the block that you used in front of you. I'm going to come forward onto the hands and knees, and I'll cross the ankles behind my back, take the feet wide. I'll roll the bottom over to the mat or to the blanket, and then extend the legs out in front of me. Good, 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 good. And then you want to really see if you can stretch and open up the backs of your legs, adjust the buttock flesh. When you do that, the upper leg bone moves into the hip socket. Do that on both sides. Really spread all four corners of your knees and lift your chest. Exhale, reach forward, grab your feet or grab your heels. So guys, don't round your spine. Use a strap if you need to, but inhale and lift and extend up, and then exhale, fold. You can bend your elbows out to the sides here as you fold forward. Spread the back rib cage, spread the front rib cage, and press out through the base of your big toe joints. And then inhale and extend up, stretch up through your side ribs. Let's keep Paschimottanasana, but instead of holding your heels, reach further out and interlace your fingers around your feet. Inhale, stretch up, move your side ribs up, shoulders down, and exhale. Don't let your elbows bend down towards your mat, but rather out to your sides. And then move the hands into the feet to move the very top of your head towards the top of your feet. Move your spine in, guys, so you're trying to get a lot of length in your spine. Use the heel of your hands to draw into the outer feet. Press the outer feet into the hands. You'll feel an extension of the legs. Not only do the elbows go out, but see if you can lift them up. And then inhale and extend up. Perfect. And exhale to release. Excelente. Now, I did just remember, not really, I remembered earlier today that today was our intermediate class. So I know, as I thought about you, Esther, like, what? But don't worry. Do what you can do. No worries at all. Okay. So you guys go ahead and move your props over to the side. And then, Esther, what you can do on this part is just kind of recline with your legs straight, maybe even recline into Sukhasana. Everyone else, we're going to take a pose called Ardha Supta Virasana. Ardha Supta Virasana. So from seated on your mat, use a blanket or blocks if you need to, meaning you can bring two blocks, one between the shoulder blades and one for the back of your head. But I'm going to lean over to the left and bend the right knee, place the top of the right foot on the mat, bend the left knee, and I'll lift the bottom. And when I lift the bottom up, I want to draw that shin bone, draw the top of the foot down, and scoop the sacrum, scoop the tailbone, come down to the elbows. Keep this knee pressing down. You may have to put a blanket underneath that front of that knee like this. Right? But what you don't want is this. So as you're reclining, keep that right knee grounded, scoop the sacrum, scoop your tailbone, come recline. Once we get reclined here, you're going to draw the left hip down, roll your weight over to the right, and we'll hold here for a moment. So you can use your hands to the mat, or you can use your hand kind of ironing the top of that right thigh out. You'll draw your belly button down, lift your chest. So remember, use a blanket under the right knee if you need to. You can use a blanket under the right knee if you need to, but each way down, scoop your sacrum and scoop your tailbone. Keep your right knee grounded. Don't allow your right knee to lift up. You want to draw the inner right knee down, lengthen out your right quadricep. So one way to do that is to keep scooping your sacrum and scooping your tailbone, even if you need to use your hands. Take an exhalation of your breath, extend your left leg, but keep as much weight in your left leg as you've got in your right leg or your right buttock. Grip your yoga mat, bend your left knee, bring your elbows down and bring yourselves up, and we'll switch sides. So I'm going to extend the right knee and then move over and bend the left. Now, when you bend the left knee, go ahead and bend the right once more, because your way down is this, to really scoop your sacrum and your tailbone and open up this left quadricep. So you're opening up the left quadricep as you come recline. Keep that left knee grounded and the top of your left foot grounded. So bend your right knee, guys. Don't recline with your right knee straight, but bend and use that right foot to get length in the buttock flesh. Get length in the buttock flesh. You can use an L shape with your right hand. You want to draw that right outer hip down. Press down into your left knee. Press down, and again, use the backs of your arms. You can use the backs of your arms. You can use the elbows to bring the inner left knee down and lift the chest. And then once you get there, very slowly, you straighten the right knee, but you roll to your left. You roll your weight over to your left. See that your left sitting bone has just as much weight as your right. Make sure that your left kneecap is moving straight out towards the top of your mat. Go ahead and grip your yoga mat with your hands. Bend your right knee. Go ahead and place your right foot on the mat and come seated. And once you come up, bring both feet to your mat. And then I'm going to keep the knees bent, but I'll scoop the sacrum again and recline. So the feet are against the yoga mat. My feet are against the yoga mat here, but I'm reclined. And then without the blocks, actually, let's start with the blocks. I'm going to take the 2 blocks right to the outer hips. And I'm going to bring both of my feet up and put the soles of my feet together and watch the knees. Don't let your knees roll in here, but rather open up your inner knees here. So it's like Baddha Konasana with blocks to your outer hips. And then I'm going to, one at a time, open up the knees just a little bit, not all the way. And then you'll kind of grab your big toes, or you can grab, but remember, start here, take your knees back, and then as you exhale, open up the knees. And you want the very top of your right leg against your block, or your legs against your block. You want the very top of your femur bones touching your 2 yoga blocks. So again, you can hold your outer feet, or you could hold your big toes, but I want you guys to draw down, really pull down, moving your femur bones towards your blocks. Once you get your weight there, you can kind of press your thigh bones towards the ceiling and lift your chest. Good, 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 good. Keep that left knee bent, guys. Keep your left knee bent. Keep yourselves grounded. And then see if you can reach and straighten out your right knee. You're keeping your left knee bent. You're just straightening your right. Very top of your right leg bone remains on your block. Very top of your left leg bone remains on your block. Reach out. Make your inner thigh, right thigh longer. Tuck your outer right leg in. So remember, you're straightening the right knee, keeping the left knee bent. Straighten your right knee, right toes down towards your mat, right kneecap towards your mat, but your right knee is straight. And then bend your right knee back to that 90-degree angle. Keep your right knee bent and see if you can straighten out your left knee. But again, your femur bones stay against your blocks. So that upper left leg bone is touching your block, upper right leg bone's touching your block. Extend into your inner left thigh. So make your left leg longer. Make your left leg longer. Right knee draws down towards your mat. Left kneecap faces your mat, but left toes kind of reach down towards the floor. A few more seconds here. Remember, keep your chest lifted. Keep your chest lifted. And then exhale, go ahead and bend the left knee slowly. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees out away from you. So extend your knees left and right, and then move your inner thighs away from you. And then bring the knees together and bring your feet to the mat. Good. Now, without our blocks, we're going to, again, come up, Supta Baddha Konasana or Baddha Konasana recline. I'm going to start one knee bent at a time as I come to both of the knees bent without the blocks. Instead of this, which is rolling your bottom up, you want to roll your bottom down. Let your kneecaps face the mat and keep your chest lifted. Here, like this. So again, not here, but roll your bottom down and see if your right kneecap will touch the floor. Left kneecap will touch the floor. Right kneecap, draw down on your right outer foot. Move your inner knees away from you guys so you can really move your inner knees back. Great, great, great. And then go ahead from here and we'll bring the soles of the feet together, take the inner knees out, bring the knees together and the feet down. Perfect. Extend your left knee, bring your right knee up towards your chest, grab your right big toe here and extend your right leg. Grab your right big toe and extend your right leg. Now, you can extend your left arm up and over your ear, press into your left foot, bring your left leg down, keep the left side of your body grounded. So you're holding that right big toe. Now, press your right thigh bone away from you. You could take your left arm out to the side. Go ahead and turn your right toes and your right knee to the right. Take your right leg to the right. Now, bend your right elbow, guys, and bring the back of your right arm to the mat. And I want you to move that right foot more towards your ear. So your right inner foot, instead of here, your foot lifts up, your left side grounds, bend your right elbow and pull your right foot closer to your right ear. Right leg is out to the right. Right leg is out to the right. Good. Go ahead and bring that right leg back to the center. Release the right big toe, bend the right knee, straighten the right knee. Left knee up into your chest. Grab, go inside of your knee to grab your left big toe. Don't lose your heaviness of your right leg as you lift that left leg up. So once you get your left big toe, go ahead and stretch your right arm up and next to your ear. Make sure that there's no space to the outer right leg and the outer right rib. Now pull your left leg in closer, but move your left thigh bone back. You can open up your left arm. Good, good, good. Keep drawing your femur bone away from you, away from you. And then you could take your left leg out to the left, bend that left elbow, bring the back of the left arm there. Rotate some of your weight here to your right so that your outer right buttock flesh and your outer right hip grounds strongly into your mat. Good, 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 good. Guys, your outer hip rotates away from you so that outer left hip moves down and away. Good. And then let's bring the left leg back to the center and then bend the knee and release. Bend the right knee up to the chest one more time. Go ahead and lift your head and shoulders. See if you can grab inner and outer right foot with both of your hands. You've got to lift your head and shoulders. Pull your right knee in. Now straighten your right leg. Hold your foot with both hands. Flex your right toes and see if you can pull your right toes right out to the outer part of your head. So your right ear. So your toes move towards your right ear, not necessarily over your head, but more down towards your right ear, as if you're going to do a split on your back. Once you get your leg up, your head and your shoulders ground, you grab your foot with both of your hands. You can change your hands to your heel, and then see if you go reach your toes over your right shoulder. Good. And then bend your right knee and release. Bend the left knee. And again, you can come up head and shoulders and grab both sides of your left foot. Extend your left leg and then bring your head and shoulders down. Bring your head and shoulders back against your mat. Keep your chest lifted. Keep that left thigh bone moving away. You can even begin to move your left toes over towards your left ear. You can change your hands to move your hands to your calf muscle, or maybe you move your hands to your left heel, but you use your hands to really draw that left leg in towards your face. Femur bone goes opposite. Wonderful. Wonderful. Perfect. And then exhale, you can bend the knee and release. Perfect. And we'll straighten both of our legs. Very, very good, guys. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and bend the knees again and put the feet on the mat. And I think I'll cross that outer right ankle bone over the left knee. First step, maybe this is it, right? First step, you've got that outer right ankle bone crossed over the top of the left knee. And if this is happening with your right knee, go ahead and L shape and really rotate. And this outer buttock flesh goes in towards that left heel. So it does rotate down at an angle. So no, your left foot is against the mat. Again, first step. Now you'll go ahead and you'll lift your head and shoulders and lift your left foot and go ahead and grab that outer right foot, outer right ankle bone, outer right knee. Extend your left leg. Extend your left leg. Now, take your hands to your right calf. See if you can straighten your right knee a little bit more. Maybe place that right arm at the back of your right knee or your right hamstring. You've still got your head and you've still got your shoulders lifted. It's not going behind your head, but you are trying to press the back of your right arm down so that your right knee goes down. You've still got your head and your shoulders lifted. Now, see if you can press through to straighten the right knee a little bit more. Left arm goes over your head. You can hold the right foot. Get as much as that right arm underneath to hold that right thigh bone against the floor. And then exhale, lower the head, bend the left knee, release here. And then we'll switch. Perfect. Cross over, opposite. First step. So if you can't go any further, this is a productive step, right? So instead of this knee doing this, you want to use the L shape of your left hand to really draw it down. And then I'm going to lift the head and shoulders and grab the foot. And instead of going to the outer left knee, I go ahead and take this elbow back of my arm, left arm, right behind that thigh. And then I can hold with the right hand and see if I can kind of open up the left knee. Good, guys. Great, 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 great. Perfect. And then exhale, lower the head and shoulders. You can bend the right knee, bring the left foot down, and then bring both of your feet perfect onto your mat. And then you can always, you're always welcome to lift and tuck your sacrum and your tailbone. Very, very good. I'm going to take the right leg up again and grab the foot. And this time when I extend the right leg, I'm going to use that left hand to the outer right foot. I'll take the right leg over and I'll let the left knee come in. And I usually hold the top of my mat, right? So I go here, here, and here, right? So like crossing my legs. I'll extend the left leg and I want my left toes to stay up to the ceiling. I'll look to the right, kind of pull against my yoga mat to the right, move my belly to the right and take that right leg over as far as I possibly can to the left. But you've got to stay grounded on your right side. So as you bend your right knee, grab your outer foot, your left knee is bent. Go ahead and cross the left knee in, take the right leg over. Grab your yoga mat, and that way you can kind of keep moving or grounding through your right shoulder blade. Now, move your abdominal flesh to the right and roll your outer right hip down. Then straighten your left knee. Look to your right. Keep your weight moving to your right and take your right leg over to the left. Keep your weight moving to the right, even if you've got to hold on to the top edge of your yoga mat. Check on your left toes. Make sure they're straight up towards the ceiling and there is weight in your heel. Perfect. And then bring it back to the center and I'll bend the knee and then release. And then opposite side, when you take that left leg up, you grab. And then rotate that right knee in. And remember that outer left foot is kind of reaching towards the floor. It's reaching down towards the floor, the outer right foot. You can move your belly button to the left. Once you get that, you can even hold your yoga mat at the top with your left hand. Straighten your right knee. And go ahead and see if you could take that left leg over a little bit deeper, but you're really pulling your abdominals to your left. So there's a spreading at the belly, at the abdominals, and they're rotating opposite. Good. Straighten both of your knees. Wonderful. Wonderful. Perfect. And then go ahead and bring it here back to the center and release. Perfecto. So I'm going to just bring the knees in for a moment and I'm going to roll over to the right and use my hands to come up to seated. Now, Virasana or Supta Virasana. So if you need to, use a blanket or two. So I'm going to use one, and you can also use a block. That's just for your head. And then if you can't do this because of your knees, then just recline flat, right? But I'm going to come in front of my prop. And just like we did earlier, Virasana, I'll kneel with the knees together, separate the feet. Come seated. And here you want to check that your toes, your 10 toes go behind you. And then I'll lift the bottom and scoop the sacrum and the tailbone. It's exactly the way we came down in Ardha Virasana. Here, or even here. Okay, but you can use blankets under your knees if you need to. But what I don't want us to do is let the knees lift up away from the mat. So once you do come grounded, you want to make sure your knees stay grounded and that the top of your feet remain grounded. And we won't be here too long, but you guys take the heel of your hands to the heels of your feet, press into the heels of your feet. You'll feel that lengthen out your quadriceps. Another action, and this is only if you guys feel okay with doing this, is going to be go ahead and hold your heels with your hands. Give a good grip to your heels. You'll lift both of your knees, keep tops of your feet, toenails down, lift your knees. Now bring your belly button down, keep your belly button against your mat, and then press your knees back against the floor. Good. You can take your arms up, bend your elbows, hold the tips of your elbows, extend out and over the head. Lift the chest. Perfect. And then I'll release that elbow grip and change it. and then I'll extend out over the head and back. Keep your inner knees grounded. And then we can release the elbows, bend both of your elbows against the mat and come up. Now here you can come hands and knees, cross the ankles behind you and extend the legs out, or you can try to lift up and see if you could get the legs to extend out in front. Ah, perfect, 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 perfect. Very good, guys. And then I'm going to move the second blanket to the side, turn to the right, and we'll take a dog pose. Now we'll stretch the knees out some. So just on the mat. And you can even bend the knees and really get your upper legs back. You want to get your heels grounded. You want to keep pulling your abdominal wall towards your spine. Good. Then you want to really reach down into the heels of your feet. Perfect. Good, good, good. If your heels are easily coming against your mat, then you want to lift your heels up and kind of wiggle your feet back some. And then go ahead and exhale, come down. You can come to child's pose and rest if you'd like. Or you could just come kneeling and rest. Now for this child's pose, you'll separate the knees, you can bend the elbows and just let the head come down. You can even let your arms rest, hands and arms kind of rest at your sides. Very good, guys. And I'm going to come up, and I think in preparation maybe of a standing split, I'm going to come into a dog pose again, like we did a moment ago. And actually this feels good, so we can do this. I won't flip all the way over, but so I'm going to come into a dog pose, right? And then I'll stay here for a moment. And then I'm going to step my left foot, left leg into the center, point my right leg behind, and just see if I could take this right leg up without doing this yet. But I want to just roll that hip down. And even if I need to come up on the back toes, I want to lift that right leg up as high as I possibly can without opening up the hips. So without opening up the hips is what you'll do. So you'll come into your dog, and again, have a good distance here, and then step your left foot into the center, bring your right toes behind you. Go ahead and point your right toes before you even move your leg up. Point your right toes from dog pose. Point your right toes. And then take your right leg up with your right toes pointed. Go the right leg up as high as you can. Right leg up as high as you can. Now, point your right toes, guys. Point your toes. Strengthen your right leg. That's nice, Esther. And then you guys press your chest back towards your left leg. Press your chest, not your hands, just your chest. And at the same time, point the back toes. Great. And then we'll exhale. Bring that right leg down once more. Go ahead and step your right foot, right leg center. Left leg's down. So we're not walking our hands back yet. All we're doing here so far is seeing if we can just lift this leg without doing this. So keeping that hip roll down. Come onto your right tippy toes. Press into your right toes as you lift your left leg up. Go ahead and lift it up very high here. Point the toes on the top. Come tippy-toe on your bottom toes and press your weight completely back. Perfect. Perfect. Few more seconds here, guys. Perfect. And then exhale, release. You can come down and rest any way that you would like. Yeah, you can rest any way that you'd like. And we'll do it using our wall, which is a way that, well, we've done it all kinds of ways, using chairs, using walls, using whatnot. So let's see if we can do it using a wall for our feet or whatever prop that you have. Y'all watch, don't go, just watch for a moment. And I think I'm gonna show you, yeah, I'm gonna show you the right way. Just kidding. So I'm gonna take a dog pose, this time both heels to the wall, right? And the reason I've got both heels for the wall is watch the action of the heels when I press the heels back and I'll into the wall and I'll take the inner thighs up. You see, so there is, instead of this, there's this lifting up. I'll step my left foot, left leg into the center, and I'm just gonna take those right toes to the wall, just like that. And then I'll begin to press the chest towards the top of the left leg. Once you get here, you can then bend your elbows. See if you can walk your hands back. Watch the left heel. Watch, watch, watch. I'm going to lift the toes, roll the right hip down, and move the chest to the wall. Okay? So you don't have to literally do a split against the wall. So start in dog pose, both heels against the wall. Toes on the mat. Heels on the wall, toes on the mat in dog. Yeah, you can, you can come here like, in front of the wall, put your heels there, your toes down, take a dog pose. Just like this. Take a dog pose. Lisa, walk your hands further. Bring your toes a little further away from the wall. Your toes. Yeah, now guys, press your heels and move your chest back. Perfecto. Step your left leg, left foot into the center. Take your right toes up the wall. Put all 5 of your right toes on the wall. Don't move yet, just your right toes. Straighten your right knee. If you can, Aiden, straighten your right knee. Now, guys, I see some of the right hips are rolling out. Roll your outer right hip down. Roll it down towards your mat. Now, your back foot, your back heel, left heel should be against your wall. Go ahead and walk your hands back closer to the wall. Take your right leg further up the wall and then flatten your right foot to the wall. Now, roll your right hip down. Everyone roll your right hip down. Good. Now, you can come to a dorsiflex of your left foot. Left heel is still against the wall. See if you can lift that outer hip up and roll your right hip down. Good. And then exhale, release. That's perfect, Diana. Perfect, perfect. So, the main thing is, and if you guys can see, it's going to be what this bottom foot is going to do once you get here. Watch the bottom foot. It goes up like a dorsiflex, like I'm pushing, and watch this left hip. And it brings the right hip down. So our goal is to keep that back heel against the wall. The back foot doesn't leave the wall, the back heel. So come into dog pose with both of your heels against the wall. Now that right foot steps in, and this is your first step, right? This is our first step. And you want to roll that hip down, lift your outer right hip, roll your outer left hip down. Once you get here, make sure you can use that right heel and then begin to bend your elbows and walk your torso back. Good, 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 good. Now, move your chest towards your upper leg, towards the wall. Flex your bottom toes, lift your toes up, be in a dorsiflex, push through your heel and lift your outer bottom hip up, roll your outer top hip down. Great. Great, 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 great. Perfecto. And then exhale, release. That was really good, guys. Let's see, one more time without the wall. So, and I'm not, anyway. So I'm going to step the left foot into the center, take the right toes behind. Now in this one, you use your hands to your back of your ankle. So I'm going to take the left hand and leave the right hand down. I'm going to take the left hand and grab the back of the left leg. I'm going to point the right toes, lift the right leg up. Okay, so right leg goes up first. So you can fold into like a partial Uttanasana. Left foot into the center, right leg behind. And sometimes to make it easier, guys, I cross the hands. So I'll take the right hand and I'll cross it in front and pull my nose to my left knee as I take my right leg up. And I want to try to keep rolling that outer right hip down. So again, you can use your right hand to your left ankle. You use your right hand to your left ankle, pull your nose to your knee, and lift the top leg. That's great. That's great. And then release. Perfect. That was great. Perfecto. And then switch sides. So we'll come here again. And then I'm going to bring right leg in center, left leg back. And again, it may be easier to cross that left hand and keep the right hand down, do you see? And then as you put your nose to your knee, take your left leg up. And try to get, remember, standing split means you're trying to get a Hanumasana in the air. Good. Nose to the bottom knee. Perfecto. 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 Perfect. And then you guys can exhale, excelente, and release. Perfect. So again, you can just stand forward, fold on your mat. Let's grab our two big toes. This is called Patangustasana. Move the two big toes forward and then fold. We'll rest here for a moment. So you're in Patangustasana. You've got your two big toes. You're really moving them forward as you widen out into your elbows. Spread front, back, ribs. Lift the kneecaps, lift the quadriceps. Pull the big toes off of the feet. I know that sounds awful, but see if you can get your big toes to move away from your feet. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. And then go ahead here, guys, and you can inhale and look out in front of you. Straighten your side rib cage. And then exhale, you'll bring your hands to your hips. Perfecto. And then you can bring yourselves up to seated. Up to standing. And then I'm going to come down onto the mat, and maybe you need a blanket. Actually, I think I'm going to use either nothing or a block. But I am going to come seated. Actually, I'm going to use everything. And I'm going to take two blankets. And you can use as many as you want. And when you see what we're going to do, you're going to think you're not going to have enough props. But I'm going to use my two blankets and my two blocks, right? And then I'm going to come over this blanket or over these blankets. And I'm going to separate. So I'm going to step my right leg in front. And when I come down, I want to go ahead and place the very back of my right leg on my blanket. Got my block. I'll draw my right hip back and bring my left leg down. Right? So I'll bring that left leg back. And I don't want to do this. So your blanket should be to where it's right at the middle of your right hamstring muscle, right? So do this dorsiflex, Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Take the gaze back. Look, you can even bring your blocks here. Take the gaze back. So right leg is in front. And there's an internal rotation. So with your left hand, take it to your lower left buttock. And then roll your lower left buttock flesh out to the left. Good. Even out your hips, guys. And you want that blanket. It's touching the left upper leg, but it's at the back of your right hamstring. Good, 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 good. And let's go ahead, and it's something we don't do all the time, but stay to your left. Don't do this. Stay to your left and see if you can come forward and rest your nose at your right knee. Really move your weight to your left, and you can bring your hands back to your blocks. Lean back, take your gaze back, open your chest, and then exhale, release. So I'm going to push into my blocks, bring the right leg back, change this. So bring the left leg forward. And then before you even straighten the back knee, go ahead and see if you can get that right below the lower buttock and the back of the left hamstring grounded. You've got to draw your left hip back, and as you draw your left hip back, your outer right hip comes forward. Using your hands for support, left hand L shape, really rotate that flesh out, just like this. It goes this direction. That buttock flesh, lower buttock flesh on the right side does this. So if you've got the stability you feel, and you can actually use your right hand to rotate that lower right buttock flesh to the right. Yeah, good, guys. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Great, 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 great. Now see if you can press down through your back foot. A lot of work in the back foot. Drag your outer left hip and left foot backwards. Do a little bit of shifting of your weight so that it's even. And then you can move your blocks forward or walk them to the sides or however you want to do that. And you can come forward and place the nose now on the left knee. And again, that right thigh, outer hip, outer foot has to move to the right. And then using the hands, you can bring it up, push, lift the chest. Take the gaze back. Perfecto. And then exhale to release. Excelente. Very, very, very good, guys. Okay, so now let's start our inversions. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, both of these are heated inversions, but the first one is Shavasana. So if you have, or if you can invert today, maybe just come into standing Uttanasana or Prasarita Padottanasana, but here. So let's try this for this one. Move a little bit away from the wall. And what I'm going to try to do is when I do get up, I'm going to see if I can bend the knees and put the front of the feet against the wall, or not, maybe just bend the knees, right? So you'll get there. And you'll have to be a little bit away from the wall. I'm too close. But I want to try to see if I can get here. Okay, so let's see where we can go. And if you're just like, no, you can't do that. Just go legs straight up, heels to the wall. Move a little bit away. And you know, we used to practice this by jumping into it or just kind of hopping our toes up. with our knees bent. So be a little bit away from the wall. You could take the legs up straight. And then once you get that, bend the knees so the kneecaps move to the ceiling. Kneecaps move to the ceiling. Kneecaps move to the ceiling. Heels move to the bottom. So Lisa, see if you can move your toes away from the wall and to your bottom, your heels. There you go. That's it. That's it. Try to pull your knees together. Great. Hug your knees together. Knees. That's it. That's great. That's where the legs go. That's where the knees go. Diana, bring your knees together. Squeeze. That's great. That's great. That's great. Squeeze your knees together. Your heels touch your sits bones. Your kneecaps stretch up to the ceiling. That's it. That's it. Tuck the bottom in. Tuck the bottom. Perfecto. Perfecto. Now, with your knees squeezing in together, straighten your knees at the same time. Good. Good. Perfect. Breathe. Excelente. That's it, Aiden. That's it. That's it. Squeeze the knees. Few more seconds, guys. Beautiful. Few more seconds. Perfect. Great. And then you guys, if you're ready, you can go ahead and exhale the breath. See if you can come down with an exhalation. Just place your forehead on the mat. You can let your arms rest to your side. Really keep the back of your neck open. Very good, guys. And then when you guys are ready, you can bring yourselves up. So what I want to work just a few seconds in is Adho Mukha Vrksasana. Otherwise, English translation is handstand. Adho Mukha Vrksasana. So Adho Mukha Vrksasana is really downward facing tree pose. Isn't that interesting? So Vrksasana, you know, the tree pose, this is the upside down version of the tree pose. So handstand. One thing that you can do, Esther, and anyone else, if you feel like you don't have the strength or you don't feel comfortable or feeling that you can't support yourself in a full handstand, do a wall L, okay? And to me, wall L is a little more challenging. But if you are having shoulder issues and you're just afraid to kick up or attempt to kick up, then you can sit to the wall. Where your heels are is where your hands go. And then you take your feet up the wall and you attempt to bring yourself into an L shape, right? And again, that's tougher to me shoulder-wise than full Adho Mukha Vrksasana. So what I'm going to do to start Adho Mukha is I'm not going to jump, but I'm going to come into dog pose in front of the wall, and I'm going to take one hand, two hands. So where my second hand is where both of my hands will be placed here. And then I'll come into a dog pose. Now we can make some attempts by bringing in your strong leg, pressing off of your toes like a runner would do from the starting block, and just extending the leg up, not over kicking, do you see, but reaching. Again, you're about a hand's distance away. You're in dog pose. You bring your strong leg or your push-off leg and you see if you can tap the ceiling. If you can get both of your legs up, great. Okay? Or wall L. Or if you're comfortable with none of that, then just wait for us to get done here. So that front knee bends. The front knee, that's your kicking leg. Great. Once you guys get there, go ahead and put your heels on the wall. Turn your upper arm bones out externally. Take your gaze to look straight behind you. So don't look at your wall. That's it. That's it. Now, see if you can bring your buttocks in as if you've got a block there. Move one heel from the wall at a time. Nice, nice, nice. Perfect. And then release. Very good. Very good. Now, I wish I had a door frame here. Can I construct a door frame real quick? Just kidding. If I had a door frame, right? You could do this in the doorway, in your doorway. So if you had a door frame, you would stand. Can y'all imagine a door frame like this? Stand in your door frame and you put your hands on either side of the wall in your door frame. You roll your head and your shoulders to the wall, and then you start stepping your feet up on the other side of the door frame. Does that explain it? Kinda. So it's like you would start in a wall L, and then you would move all the way up. Let's see, is Krista there? I can't tell. Oh, no, you're the opposite way. That's okay. Yeah, so the wall L, using the door frame, you start in a wall L, Esther, yeah. And you may not have enough room for your feet. I think you do. So Esther, let your back of your head and your shoulders be to your wall, and then see if you could just put one foot up at a time with a bent knee to the door frame. So Esther, put your foot there, not your knee. I wish I had a door frame. Ooh, I think you're doing good. Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys, enough of that. That was fun while it lasted, right? But go ahead and let's come down seated on our mat. And I'm going to do a spinal twist, but just rotate. Go ahead and rotate the buttock flesh out for a moment. And our spinal twist, I'm going to lean over to the right, bend the left knee back. See if you can cross your right leg into half lotus. Lift your chest, twist to the right. You can take your right hand and grab your right big toe. Left hand outside of your right knee, twist to the right. If you can't do that, come Sukhasana, twist to the right. Otherwise, left knee bent, right leg in half lotus. Right arm goes behind your back. You can even lean forward and see if you can grab your right big toe and then twist to the right. Good, 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 good. And then exhale, gaze center and release. And when I release, I'm going to try to straighten the legs out at the same time. And then switch sides. So bend the right. Half lotus on the left. Twist, kind of lean forward so you get enough space to grab your left foot. And then lift up tall, twist to the left. Now you want that outer knee grounded left side. So you want to keep drawing that outer knee in. And then exhale, gaze back to the center, and then see if you can maybe uncross or come out of that at the same time. Perfecto. And then just stretch your legs out, guys. And we are going to do some back bending, but what I want to do before that is Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. I'm going to use a strap for the first Setu Bandha, and that strap's just going to be right on the legs, like this. And then I'll lift up and open the quadriceps towards the knees and bring the block underneath the sacrum. Now this strap just kind of keeps my legs in my control. And then you can also push to straighten your knees, and you must ground your feet. You must ground the inner and the outer parts of your feet to your mat. Good. And remember that the thoracic spine comes in this pose dramatically. So that space between your shoulder blades moves in to your body. And you use that grounding of the backs of your arms to give you a little more lift. You use the grounding of the backs of your arms to help you open up your chest. So your chest moves towards your chin. Your chin doesn't move towards your breastbone, but your breastbone reaches up towards your chin. Yeah, there you go. Perfecto. Remember, if you want, you can straighten your legs, but you do, you keep a deep internal rotation in this one. Good. And the knees don't have to straighten. Excuse me, your knees can stay bent. Ah. Very good, guys. So now if you've got your knees straight, you can go ahead and bend your knees and put your feet on your mat. You can bring your knees and your feet up, your legs up, but keep your sacrum on your block. So in other words, don't do this, but rather roll so that the outer hips are long. You can even hold your yoga mat, and we can extend the legs up, but arch your back. Arch your back. This is like legs up the wall without the wall. So there is an arching of your back and a drawing of your outer hips away from you. Great. Great. You can even bend the elbows, put the backs of your arms on the mat, press to lift the chest, and keep moving those hips so the outer hips move away. Great. Now bend the knees. See if you can reach through the feet. Feet come down at the same time against the yoga mat. And then you can lift your bottom up and bring your blocks down. Perfect. Ah, excelente. Perfect. And then I'm going to kind of start a little bit of a Dvipada, but the more intense way, so not from recline. So what I'm going to do is just come up, roll over to the right and come up. And just for comfort, I'm going to use a blanket to the wall. And again, that's just comfort, right? So there's two things that you can do here. If you don't feel that you've got enough strength to turn with your back to the wall and try to walk your hands down, I want you to face the wall. This is Ustrasana, not Dvipada. So if you can't do Dvipada, you'll come real close to the wall. You'll press the pubic bone to the wall, lift the chest, and you'll reach back and grab your feet. Now, when you do this, this is not the goal. So you want to press to the pubic bone touches the wall. The Dvipada way that we're going to do it, and that's if you can't do this, guys, and I can't really do this either, but you'll come in front of the wall, and it looks like you're going to do Shavasana, yeah. But what we'll do is we'll throw the arms over, and you'll begin to just walk the hands down the wall. And maybe you can get your hands all the way down onto the floor. Maybe you can get your hands onto the floor, even with your elbows straight. If not, I've been working a little bit lately on even seeing if I can kind of bend those elbows. You see, and kind of press them into the wall. Oh. Right? Okay, let's try. So either Ustrasana, which is with your front side to the wall, pubic bone pressing into the wall, reach back, grab the heels, or come in front of the wall, throw the arms over the head, walk the hands down the wall, try to get your hands all the way down. Nice, Krista, nice. And then once you, that's so good. That's beautiful, beautiful. Keep pushing your hips forward the entire way. That's it, Lisa. Keep pushing your hips forward. Good, good, Aiden. Keep pushing your hips forward, Aiden. Good, 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 good. Nice, guys. And then walk up, rest, and try one more time. That was great, Lisa. I mean, well, Lisa too, but that was great, Krista, and Esther, and Aiden, and Diana. Those are the only people in class. So that was great, everybody. But what Krista did, she can do it better than me. So why don't we watch her for a second? Can you guys kind of see Krista? She's up here in the top corner. I think you're good. Let's see. Let's make sure you guys can see her, but we'll have her do it because she can get there better than me. Perfect. Y'all watch. So she's thrown her arms up. She's got her hands against the wall. You see, her elbows are straight so far. Look at the hips. The hips are moving forward. She walks the hands all the way down towards the floor. And at some point, she can begin to bend her elbows and walk her hands more towards her toes. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Perfect, perfect. And then she can break, walk up, and rest. Can y'all try that? Just one more time. Diana said no. But thank you, Chris.
That's a lot more, going that way for and bending the elbows is a lot more quad stretch.
Yes. It's very quaddy and it's very front of your hips. So yeah, quaddy. There you go, Lisa. Good. Good, good, good. Nice, 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 nice. Keep moving your hips forward, Lisa, but that's excelente. That's excellent. Excellent. Perfecto, guys. Nice, Diana. All right, guys, that's enough. So when you do come out of that, right, you can go ahead and come forward into Adho Mukha Virasana or Child's Pose. Just trying to release the back here from the back bends. So your side ribs will come inside of your inner knees and you can really stretch your arms out, walking your arms out to get some length. Yeah, just releasing the back. Very good. And then just go ahead and lift the head up and let's walk our torso to the right. You can bend the right elbow and place the right fingertips on the mat. Stretch that left arm out, and you can bring your chin towards your right kneecap. And then I'll come up, bend the left elbow, swing the right arm across to the left. And then I'll come back to the center. Now, I don't really know how this one goes, but I think you come kind of more hands and knees, and you take the arm over and you just let the head rest. And again, you can keep one arm down or fingertips down. So the bottom is up in this one. And then we'll come here, and it's kind of like a twist. And you can lie your head on the mat. So I think the bottom is up there, and we'll take the left arm to the right. Yeah, nice. And then y'all switch. Nice, everyone. Perfect. Perfect. And then once you're done there, come back to the center. We'll come up to hands and knees. And I'm just going to take a few moments and do a little bit of cat-cow. So I'll inhale and go up, and then I'll exhale and roll the belly back. And then I'll just do that again. I'll do that maybe 4 times, going up and then pulling in, really rounding the spine here, holding, and then going back. So we'll do that 4 times. You guys do your own count. Use breath. Inhale when you go up into cat, and then exhale when you come down into cow. Nice. Very, very good. And then after your 4th one, you'll just rest back on your feet for a moment, resting your elbows, and again, just relaxing here for a few moments. Nice. Just a few seconds here, and your elbows bent, arms relaxed, muscles in your face relaxed. Eyes can even be closed if you'd like. And then, guys, go ahead and slowly bring yourselves up. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to rest on the mat for a moment. I am going to do legs up the wall, but not yet. So I'm just going to come down and do a little more spinal twisting. So when I come down, I'll take the knees up and I'll let them go left, and I'll twist right. And you can even hold that knee. But you want to even out your shoulder blade. So left shoulder blade to the left, and then see if you can really get a nice twist, deep twist to the right. And then exhale the breath, and you can bring the knees up and take them to your right, and you look or twist to your left. Now, you've always, remember, you want the shoulder blades moving away from the spine. So if you lift the right shoulder blade up and take it to the right, and then really you can draw that left knee down if you'd like. See if you can get some length in that top of the left side of the buttocks. If you want to take your left arm out to the left, you can. But again, draw your abdominal wall to the left. And then let's go ahead and bring the knees back. And I'm going to go again, knees to the left. I'll adjust the shoulder blades, left shoulder blade to the left. This time I'm going to bring that right knee kind of over the left. It's still bent, but I kind of pulled it up over that left knee. And then I'll make sure again in a really twist here to the right. And then release knees go to the right, shoulder blades move away from the spine. And you can probably see better, but I'll bring that left knee up higher than the right knee. And there's still that length in the outer left hip and the navel, belly button still moving to the left. And then exhale, come back to the center. I'm gonna bend the knees into the chest. And if you can keep your knees bent, kind of hugging your knees, or you're gonna grab your shins or your calves or your ankles. You'll straighten your knees. And then to fold into this, you'll lift your head and you'll see if you can pull your legs in at the same time. Press your feet into your hands. And then I'll exhale, lower back down to the mat. Nice, guys. And I'll bend the knees, feet to my mat. Temporary, just for a second. Inner knees together, feet out wide. Lift and tuck your sacrum. See if you can get that length in your low back for a moment. And then we can move the knees in, roll over to the right and come up. And we'll take just a moment in legs up the wall. So what I'm going to do, sometimes, we did that one on the block where we took the legs up and I said it's like legs up the wall without the wall. Well, it is Viparita Karani, Dandasana. So that would have blankets further back. Your bottom would be here and your legs would be here, right? We're not going to do that. But just so you know that there are two different poses, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one blanket to the wall. It can be more than that. I'm going to get in really, really close to the wall with the left hip. And when I turn in here, guys, I want to really keep my legs here. So once I recline, my bottom went away from the wall. So I want to bend the elbows. Watch. I'm going to move in, take the legs and the bottom up, and then slide the bottom down. Just like that, right? And then you could take your arms out to the sides, palms up. And we'll rest here for a moment, seeing if we can relax the outer feet and the outer heels, seeing if we can relax the thoughts for just a moment. So again, arms are out to the sides. And if your bottom is away from the wall at all, bend your knees, scoot in as close as you can. Take your bottom up high as you can, and then draw it down. And this is a nice way to get the backs of your legs to open up. That's great, Aiden. That's great. Now, you guys, you relax your feet. I mean, that relax your feet doesn't mean you let them roll out or fall out. You keep your inner feet together, but they're still kind of relaxed or heavy. Think about being in the studio and weight sandbags being on the heels of your feet. So it's that same kind of a deepening of the weight of your heels. And I don't know how you could do that besides relaxing. Like, I don't know another way for you to bring your heels down. But it's not your feet, it's the weight of your outer feet that comes down. So here you can even close your eyes if you'd like. And with the backs of your legs against the wall and your heels touching the wall, see if you can relax your feet. Now your heels don't move, but see if you can relax your feet. Allow your outer feet and your outer heels to begin to move down your outer legs. Feel a little bit of deepening in your outer hips. keep moving your torso towards your head. And then guys, go ahead and you can, if you had your eyes closed, open your eyes. Now, kind of press your upper legs towards the wall. You can give a slight bend to your knees and see if you can really stretch the legs to the wall, backs of your legs. Take your arms, take your fingertips to the wall, kind of push into the wall with your fingertips and let your outer hips reach the wall and your upper legs reach the wall. And then exhale, release your fingertips. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. You can reach in and maybe grab the front of your ankles and just see if you can let your heels come towards your bottom. And see if you can stretch your outer knees and your outer thighs back towards the wall. Good. And then we'll bring the knees together and straighten the legs here one more time. You guys can bend the knees, kind of pull the knees towards the chest, even hug the knees in. You can move side to side, and then with the exhalation, let's roll over to the right. Perfecto. And you guys can bring yourselves up and we'll prepare ourselves for Shavasana. Now, the sequence that I was reading a sequence earlier, and then I don't have the sequence in front of me. That's always a problem. So I try to remember. I used to pride myself on my photogenic memory, but I don't know. I think it's gone away. Anyway, there is a such thing as taking Shavasana in a prone position. So I'm just going to give you guys some options. You can come regular Shavasana, lying on your mat, maybe propping your knees and putting a blanket behind your head. You can come with your legs up the wall like we normally do as well. But another nice way to take Shavasana is on the belly. And if I ever do Shavasana on the belly, I do like to bring something underneath, like the feet or the ankles here. So I don't want us to think that there is only one way to take Shavasana. There's not. There's multiple ways to take Shavasana, right? So just know that if you would like to take that on your belly, you're welcome to do that. Having something propped underneath the fronts of your ankles or your shins relaxes the low back. It relaxes the low back. It gives space to the low back. Nice, guys. So you could do, if you're on your belly, if you're prone, then you can either cross your elbows or your hands in front, or you can just let your arms relax out, turn your head to one side, whatever way you're comfortable. But with an exhalation of your breath, wherever you are, close your eyes and begin to move your awareness inward here. Quieten the mind. Always think of quietening the brain chatter, right? Because there's a lot of chatter that goes on. And this is like self-chatter, self-noise. So see if you can quieten that chatter for just a moment. Very slowly begin to deepen your breath. Begin to move your awareness back into the room. Maybe small movements in the fingers and in the toes. And the elbows can bend and come onto the belly or the heart. And if you're prone Shavasana, just rest for a moment. You can stretch the arms up and over the head. With an exhalation, guys, begin to bend the knees, put the feet on the mat. Now, if you're in the prone position, you can begin to press yourselves back to a child's pose position for a moment. If you're on your mat, on your back, you can begin to pull your knees into your chest. Great. Roll to your right, fetal position. Those of you in child's pose, just begin to bring yourselves up seated, keeping the relaxation of the muscles of your face, keeping the brain and the mind quiet. And then any seated position that you would like to come into, you can do that. Eyes can stay closed, hands at the heart center, thumbs at the third eye. Take a moment in silence. The expression, painting feet on a snake, has become a Chinese saying, an aphorism. It refers to situations that are needlessly made more complicated by people who do not know when or where to stop. When our life becomes complicated with power and with possessions, we move further and further away from the simple joys and pleasures of our life. We fail to notice the green grass and the fresh morning flowers. We don't have time to hear birds singing or watch our little ones smiling. We drift away from the state of childlike innocence and simple joy, which is our basic nature. Thank you guys so very much. Namaste.